we are talking about support systems and future solutions related to the things that we've been talking about since yesterday. And just quickly to tell us what you already know, we are already saying, as I think Gabriel emphasized in the morning, that climate change affects us all. No one here can claim that they're immune from climate change. And so we are saying that much as it affects us all, we might be affected differently. So there are those who will be affected very seriously, and there are those who are likely not to be affected very seriously, but either way they'll be affected. And so we are saying because it affects us all, we need to actually address it collectively. So this is what we are talking about here, that we need to address this climate change issues collectively. And so when we talk of collective action, we are looking at ourselves as community members, but also looking at our local leaders. But beyond the local leaders, also looking at higher level government institutions, where we're looking at the districts, we are looking at sub-counties, we're looking at the national level, but also looking at the non-government organizations, we're also looking at even the private sector, and others that we can think about. So what we are trying to say is that if we are going to prevent climate change effects or deal with them once they've happened, we need to work together as community members, together with the local leaders, together with government agencies at different levels, but also non-government entities, like non-government organizations and the private sector, but also the cultural institutions, because they also could be having a role to play. And so that's why we are talking about support systems, because we believe climate change is something that you cannot deal with alone. So we are going to go to group work, where we are trying to focus on what solutions do we think we can implement, and what should we do as communities in implementing these solutions, and then what support do we need. So essentially that is what we are looking at in these questions. What are those solutions that we think could help us to ensure that we have reliable, accessible, and safe water, sanitation, and hygiene systems in our community? That will be group one. Who is going to be looking at the roles that the different actors, and by the actors we are looking at ourselves as community members, we are looking at the local government leaders, we are looking at the higher level government institutions, the non-government institutions, as well as the private sector, and any others whom you think could be important in supporting us to ensure that we have reliable, accessible, and safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. But we are looking at those that are currently involved and what they are doing. We need to know, because it becomes difficult for you to engage someone who is not yet there. But if someone is already there, it becomes easier for them to actually support you better. So this is about who is currently there and what do they do in terms of ensuring that we have clean, we have reliable, accessible, and safe water, hygiene, and sanitation. So group 3 is going to be looking at we as community members. What can we do to contribute to the attainment of safe, reliable, and accessible water, sanitation, and hygiene systems? This is essentially trying to see ourselves, what else can we do in order to ensure that we get what we want. And then it also has a second part, which is about what support and from whom. What support do we need in order to actually better contribute to reliable access and safe water, sanitation, and hygiene systems in our communities amidst climate change. Remember that we are doing all these things in the context of climate change. So what kind of support do we need and from whom in order to enable us to do that? So this is part B of that question.